All right, so let's see if the audio is okay. Perfect. How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great, and I hope you all had a relaxing weekend. I am Dork Radu, and I am back with another daily analysis since we just started this brand new week. Today's Monday, and as always, I'm gonna start off with the Forex analysis. And to be more exact, I'm gonna start off with Euro USD, where we have a bearish opportunity. Right here, price is overall trending towards the downside, and here we have a continuation of that bearish trend with this bearish break of structure right here that took price lower and left imbalance behind. We have this fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph as well, and the pullback so far looks pretty corrective too, which is exactly what we want from a setup. On odd CHF, we have a bullish opportunity, a very aggressive break towards the upside, a unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The daily is bullish on the trader graph, and it is very safe to say that this pullback is very corrective so far, which is great. We want to see a continuation of that. On USD JPY, we have a continuation of this aggressive uptrend with this bullish break of structure right here that took price higher and left imbalance behind. We have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The trader graph is fully bullish, which is ideal. And now all we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. On NZD CAD, we have a bearish opportunity, aggressive break towards the downside, unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bearish trader order block. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and now we just need to wait and see if we manage to get a corrective pullback towards our fire zone. On EuroCAD, a pretty similar setup, a continuation of this downtrend with this aggressive bearish break. We have a unmitigated order block once again lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bearish trader order block. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and now we just need to wait and see if we manage to get a corrective pullback towards our fire zone. On GBP USD, we have a bearish setup, a liquidity sweep right here, followed by a aggressive break of structure towards the downside caused by this bearish leg. We have a fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bearish trader order block right here. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and now once again the last thing that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. On odd NZD, we have a bullish opportunity, a super aggressive break towards the upside, a fair value gap lining up with the discounted area of this bullish range, as well as with this bullish trader order block. The 4-hour is bullish on the trader graph, and so far this pullback looks pretty corrective as well, hence why we would like to see a continuation of that. CAD JPY coming up next with a aggressive break towards the upside, caused by this bullish leg right here. The trader graph is fully bullish. We have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest. And now the last thing that we once again need to wait for is a corrective pullback. We keep things super simple and straight to the point. That's the key to success. Right here, we have a bullish shift in momentum. We swept liquidity with this fake out right here. And immediately after that, we broke structure to the upside very impulsively with this bullish leg. We have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. And it is very safe to say that the pullback was a very corrective one as well. And to be fair, seeing that it touched here and now that price is breaking above this range, I think this will become a invalid setup. Okay, this right here will become invalid, which is totally okay. Let me quickly color code it with orange since it's not a valid setup anymore. Oh, orange, perfect. All right. Next up, we have USD CHF with a bullish opportunity. Right here, we have a bullish shift in momentum. We have a liquidity sweep, followed by a aggressive break of structure to the upside, caused by this bullish leg right here. We have this huge imbalance left behind. I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that is lining up with the discounted area of this bullish range. And now we just need to wait for a corrective pullback. That's what we want, okay? Because if the pullback is aggressive, we won't take the setup anymore. And lastly, for our Forex analysis, we have GBP CAD with a bearish opportunity looking pretty textbook. Very aggressive break. Liquidity was swept beforehand as well. We have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest as well as with this bearish trader order block. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph. And once again, the last thing that we now need to wait for is a corrective pullback towards our fire zone. All right. And yeah, that's about it when it comes to the Forex analysis for today. As always, if there's any other questions, make sure to reach out on Discord. Now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold, where I was able to identify a bearish opportunity. Right here we can see we have this massive bearish push that broke structure here. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here. And after the break, I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that is lining up perfectly with the area of interest. And now all we need to wait for is a corrective pullback to see if we manage to get it. On silver, we have another bearish opportunity, okay, looking pretty similar to gold. We have a liquidity sweep right here, followed by an aggressive break towards the downside. We have this fair value gap lining up with the premium area of this bearish range. And now, since the pullback just started, we just need to wait and see if we manage to get a corrective one. All right. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's metals analysis right here. As always, make sure to reach out on Discord if there's any further questions. And now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US 30, where we won't really waste any time on because there's nothing new to analyze here. Okay, price is looking pretty bullish, yes, but because of these huge wicks, there's no clear range that we can identify. Hence why we just need to sit on our hands and wait for some fresh structure. On SPX, however, I was able to identify a bearish shift in momentum. We can see we swept liquidity above this small high here. And after that, we broke structure pretty aggressively with this bearish leg. Okay, we have this unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest. And most importantly, we now need to wait for a corrective pullback, because since the price is overall bullish, if I don't get a corrective pullback, I will definitely disconsider this setup. But for now, it is valid. And lastly, we have NAS 100 for our indices analysis with a very similar setup to SPX. Liquidity sweep, aggressive break, unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest. And once again, it is very important now to see if we manage to get a corrective pullback. And yeah, that was about it for today's indices analysis. As always, make sure to reach out on Discord if there's any other questions. And lastly, I will go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin, where things are looking pretty bearish, right? We have this continuation with this bearish break of structure. We have this fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Above it, we have a bearish trader order block as well. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph. And now, the last thing that we need to wait for is to see if we manage to get a corrective pullback. Ethereum, we have another bearish setup. We have a aggressive break towards the downside, a fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest, as well as with this bearish trader order block. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and same as on Bitcoin, we now need to wait for a corrective pullback. Very similar setups, these two. Dogecoin with another bearish opportunity. Okay, once again, a continuation of this downtrend with this bearish break right here that took price lower and left imbalance behind. Daily and 4-hour both bearish on the trader graph. We also have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Above it, we have a bearish trader order block as well. And it is very safe to say that the pullback was very corrective, but it looks like price wants to head even lower. And if that happens, then of course this setup will become invalid. But till then, it will still be a valid one. XRP looking super similar to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Aggressive bearish break, fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Trader graph is fully bearish, and we also have this bearish trader order block as well. And of course, now the last thing that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. And lastly, we have Solana with another bearish opportunity looking very, very similar to the others. Aggressive break, continuing this downtrend. Fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest as well as with these two bearish trader order blocks. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and once again, last thing that we now need to wait for is a corrective pullback. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's crypto as well as the overall daily analysis right here. As always, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all on the dork side. Take care.